Hey people, welcome back to another episode of Life with Lumii podcast. If this is your first time here, you're most definitely welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for tuning in. You know Miss Road, like I always say, you know Miss Road, because this is where you're supposed to be at this time of the day, whatever time zone it is at your side, okay? And if you're a returning listener, what's good? What's popping? How are you doing? I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're beginning to do great things. And yeah, I just really hope that it's going well. I hope that you got the push that you needed. I hope that you're actually, doing well and not slacking off. And I trust that you pull through, okay? So please keep going. I'm rooting for you. Keep going. And if you're wondering what we're talking about, you can catch up on the previous episode. We talked about, just catch up. Don't let me give you all the teas here. This is another episode, so yeah, go catch up on that. So without further ado, let's get right into today's episode. But before we do, I have a question for everybody. I have just one question. And my question is, why haven't you shared this podcast? I need just one answer, because why? You can't let the energy drop. You guys, you can't drop the energy. The energy has to keep on keeping on. Yes, it has to keep going. Okay, it's a win-win for everybody. Share this podcast. You never can tell who needs to hear this. You never can tell, what changes to give to someone. Do you get me? So please make sure that you are doing the right thing by sharing and, just sharing to people. Like I said in the introductory episode, I said share it to people you love and to those you don't love. But you know what? Just share it. For the sake of the love I have for you. Yes, just share it and everybody be fine, okay? Share it. Good. So, let's just jump into what we're here to do today. To start, I'm going to be reading an extract from my diary. If you know me very well, you know that I love journaling. I love writing to myself. Yeah, so I'm going to be reading an extract from my diary. I actually titled it Cheers to Poor Decisions. Yeah, funny, right? And I wrote this sometime last year, October 12th to be precise. It's reading here at 9 o'clock. I don't know if it's in the morning or at night, but I'm pretty sure it's in the morning. So like 9 a.m. And then it's just like 3 lines, but it's heavy. Let me just read it. It says, Dear Lumii, hooray, but yeah, we move. And I went ahead to give myself, things to do going forward, personal stuff, to do going forward. There are about 10 of it. That's following from, the error I made or the poor decision I made. So now I got a hold of this again and I was just smiling because you guys, making decision is one thing that scares me, or pretty much used to scare me the most. Before now, most times I don't like making decisions because I do not want to have to bear the consequences of my actions. Sounds crazy, but that was the fact for me. I would rather have numerous people talk about, numerous people decide on a thing for me than myself. So when it goes south or when it goes bad, I'm like, oh yeah, you're sharing the blame. So it's not me. It's not just me. You were there. If my head was not working, what happened to your head? And why did you give me that decision so I can pass it to you? Funny how I used to be like that, to be honest. But as I was growing, I realized that at the end of the day, it's only you that got you. That's one of my favorite lines. Not only you got you. Because everybody's facing their lives, everybody's going about their businesses. I can't keep basing off my life decisions or milestones, not even milestones, but like my life decisions generally off someone else's approval or disapproval. Literally, I realized that decision making is one really critical thing that we need to look into, and most times we don't get to talk about it because there is this struggle because I am just a baby. I don't know what to do. Right? But you have to know what to do, and that's where the struggle comes in. Because who is going to, me, how am I going to decide what I want to do? How am I going to know this is what is best for me? There's just that tussle in my head space most of the time. So yeah, I realized that it actually used to be a struggle to to be honest, like, it is deeper than like what I'm saying right now, because it actually used to be a struggle. I do not want to make decisions. And probably because I grew up in a space where I had people around. So most of the times it's probably someone ahead of me that just says, oh, this is best for you, so do it. And most times, I had like people that, I had people around me. Yeah. So it's always, a reflection of, oh, they've done this before, so they feel like it's best for me to do, which is fine. Right, fine. But at the end of the day, we have different choices. We have different life journey. So I got used to that system. And I just wanted to keep on. I wanted to keep on. I'm just a baby, please. Nobody's come and stress me with life. As I began to grow, I began to realize that yes, I have to, I have to be self-aware. I have to man up. I have to boss up. It was a struggle. It was really a struggle. Having to stand up to myself and say, oh, I choose this over this. Even up to date, most times that's why I used to take my time to make a choice. Or most times I just stay in between, which is not always safe. I just sit on the fence. I'm not picking any side. But when it comes to a moment where I really have to decide or choose one of two, I have to take my time to weigh my options and finally decide, oh, this resonates better with me, or this has lesser consequences, because at the end of the day, whether good or bad, one of it always have consequences, and you have to be able to stand up and own your consequence. And that's like the main point of being an adult, because you have to chest it out. Oh, let me run on, let me go face some. It bad, bad, I go face some, that kind of thing. So yeah, but that's what I brought to my realization as I grew. At the end of the day, we always make a choice that we think is best, because nobody makes a choice that's going to lead to suffering later on. I mean, no well-meaning human will know that, oh, there is a bad consequence attached to this decision, and yes, it's because of that bad consequence I want to take it. I mean, I don't think anybody in their right senses will want to do that. So most times the struggle is mostly deciding between two choices because they both seem good to you. And yes, it's stressing because you're considering several factors. You're considering whether or not to take this one over this, whereas this seem good and this seem good. So you're beginning to weigh the options that, oh my god, what am I supposed to do, or what am I not supposed to do? We are all doing the best with what we know. I want us to know that we're all doing the best with what we know, and that is tied to limited information or wherever we are. Like I said in my journal that I wrote to myself the other day, as short as those 3 lines were, they were very heavy, because I know that for me to write that or more, I don't mess up. Like, I probably just did something that I did not take my time to review, or I did not, adequately settle my mind to weigh my options. I'm not blaming myself, I'm not crucifying myself, because I've actually gotten better. I mean, even at that time, I'd gotten better, because way before that time, bro, I would way before that time, I used to be really bad at making choices. I just can't stand the idea of me, pulling myself to say, oh, I choose this. Now let me I don't want to generalize it, because we make decisions in every area of our lives. So I don't want to say, oh, it's just tied to education, or it's just tied to your relationship, or it's just tied to your finances. Choosing something over something, literally, it's a lot. Especially when they both have chances of, being at an advantage to you. But then you just have to, decide on one. I will not say that's tied to covetousness, but it has nothing to do with covetousness. Everybody wants the best thing for themselves. So having to decide one and owning up to it that, yes, so now me pick this one, I have to stand by I have to stand by my actions and face it heads on. It's what, it's a thing. And what I'm trying to discuss here today is about the struggle that we face. And I know that every one of us can actually relate to it, whether or not you're in school, you're out of school, you're at your job, you're working right now, or wherever you are. Not everybody at some point can always relate to making decisions. Now let me shock you by saying that there are no wrong decisions in life. The only wrong decision is indecision. I'm going to take it again. There are literally no wrong decisions in life. The only wrong decision that you will make is indecision. But you not making any decision, that's where you are making the wrong decision. I hope it's not so much of a decision, but I know you get it. Because with every wrong decision comes with a great learning opportunity that will also be valuable. Yes. Now, let's go back to my diary. Yeah. When I came to the realization that yes, I messed up, I wrote out things that I could do better with, and I followed. Yes, I followed through, and I made sure that at every point, because I don't want to feel like a mess anytime I make a decision. I don't want to feel like yes, I'm always doing it wrongly. I don't want to feel like I'm not taking my time, or I keep facing deep consequences because of my actions. So I made sure that I put out a list of things I need to work better on. And yes, for every time I want to make, it's already in my subconscious that you're not about to just rush and do anything anyhow. Take your time, because at the end of the day, it is coming back to me. The shame, the guilt, the whole feeling is coming back to me. Yeah, and that's the funny thing. And the pressure of, you just have to make a decision right now. You really don't have the time to sit through it and, walk your mind through it or process everything. You just have to make a decision. That moment can lead you to make the wrong one. But like I said, there's no wrong decision, but then there are some that has larger consequences than the other. So it is best that you nurture your mindset to know that whatever choice I'm making, you're owning up to every of your choices. And why? It's nobody's fault. You're an adult. You have to grow. You have to create that life for yourself. You have to create that environment for yourself. You have to create that space. You have to nurture your mind, your soul, your body, to know that yes, we are living, we are growing. Yeah, so with living comes making decisions every day, every hour, every minute, literally. So yes, make sure that you are in that space where you're confident with yourself, making choices. I mean, you can't run away from it. I used to run away from it. It helped me to some point, but at some point, it was not working again. It was not even working again at all. I remember one time, I had to speak to a very close friend of mine. The person was asking why I was, away. Because usually I always ask for your opinion. I always seek for your thought before I make a move. And the person was concerned that, are you fine? Is everything okay? And I was like, well, I just thought of, doing things my way. I mean, not necessarily doing things my way. Yeah, doing things my way, but I mean, making choices myself. That's when I began to say I wanted to take active, decisions myself, make active choices, own up for my mistakes. Do you understand? So yes, it was some 3 years ago I did that, and since it was a struggle. I'm not just telling you to cut off everybody or cut off your stream of decision making, but you can actually do it for you. Make sure you're doing it for you to better yourself, just to be confident in your choices. So I took that decision. I told that person, I just felt like, let me do this myself. And I mean, it was a struggle. I can't explain it better. It was a struggle, but I got better in time. Got myself back up, make any wrong one, we move, go again, we move, we go again, and it was like that cycle. Okay? So peradventure you're wondering, or you're in that space where you made a poor decision and you're wondering how you can get back up, or how you can, move from it. I just want to remind you that, like I said earlier, there are no wrong decisions in life. The only wrong decision is indecision, and that's because for every poor decision you make, you have a different learning opportunity to do better and work. You're training your mind, literally. So you're wondering, how can I do better? Number one, I would say you should acknowledge your every decision, whether good or not so good. Acknowledge it. See, praise yourself, cut yourself some slack. You have not lived before. You have not lived in this life before. This is your first time coming. Or have you been here before? Have you been here before? No, you've not been here before. So cut yourself some slack. Give yourself, that grace to say that, sorry we messed up, but yeah, we're gonna go back again. Right? You self don't try. You don't try. You don't try. So cut yourself some slack. Do not beat yourself up to it with the fact that this is not so good and you're now drowning in that regret or that shame. You see, there's no even time for all of that. Fine, probably in the night you can soak yourself up. You can soak yourself up for a while, but you have to get back up. That's the thing. That's the sad truth about life. You have to always find a way to get yourself back up, because like I always say, not only you got you, it's only you that has you, right? Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming for you. That's not to scare you, sure, but yeah, that's the bitter truth. You're the only one that can get yourself back up. So please, Acknowledge your every decision. Tell yourself that, oh yes, we did this, not so good, but we could do better. You can journal like me, write it down, give yourself some, like arrange yourself. Tell yourself, okay, we did this. And why? Because we did not pay so much attention to this, or we just felt like it was gonna be good, but it didn't turn out good. Fine, okay, fair enough. Okay. So it helps you to like get back. It helps you to know that, oh, next time, there was always a next time. And the next time you're going to make a decision, or you're going to like decide on anything, literally, you're going to pay attention to some things. Okay. The other one will be that you should assess if it is reversible. Yes, most times this is not always achievable, but you should try to check if there's anything you can do to make it better at that moment. If you like that decision, when you have come to that realization that, oh yes, we messed up. If there is something you can really do at that time to like reverse it, to like, to turn back the hand of time. Not like time literally, but like, take back, that action you did. You should try as much as possible to do it. That moment where I don't know if you've had surgery before, when the anesthesia wears off, that's when the pain begins to eat you. That moment, that's when you realize that I just did surgery. Yes. So it's like that moment when you take a decision and then you feel like, oh my God, you just messed up. And this is a good decision, basically. Yeah, that's the point. You should assess at that time if it is reversible, if it is correctable, if you can, correct, if you can just turn back the hand of time, turn back the hand of time to like correct that action and just do better immediately. But most times it's really not achievable because you've done it, you don't pass. The timeline has elapsed. So it's just a lesson for another time, literally. You get. And the last one will be that you should do better. If you've seen that it is not achievable, at least like correcting the mistake, if it's not achievable, you should do better. You should always, work on your mind, your thoughts, The idea is that you don't repeat the same mistake, but that you actually grow from that experience. So you should do better. Now, speaking on how to do better, you should keep this in mind when you're trying to make decisions. I would say that you should create a routine for yourself. Hold on. Let me explain myself. I really feel lost when I just keep moving. I'm just going, and I don't put a stop at everything I'm doing. See, in this life, you should learn to balance things. Learn to put a stop, learn to put a pause, because so many information, so many details, so many activities going on, and then you can just be lost in life. That will cause you to make wrong or drastic decisions, and then you keep beating yourself up to it. So you should learn to like put a stop to everything and connect with yourself. What do I mean? By creating a routine, like find a time to connect with your inner mind. Speak to yourself. Know what works for you. Know what you want. Know what God wants for you. Speak to God. I hope you know that in all of these things, you should always take the face of God when you're making a decision. Yes, so I have to put it out there. May not be like, say, I not tell you. Let me tell you now. You need to, yes, God is a top factor. Yeah, because I actually seek the face of God. I think I forgot to add that, because I started getting better, improving my decision making skills. How I was able to navigate that, that phase, or any decision making process of my life, is that I will always see the face of God. I will pray about it. I'll pray about literally everything and anything. Yes, because God is involved. He wants to know. So why not? He even knows the end from the beginning, so you can't even hide from him. So yes, I will pray about it. Just pray, God, I'm about to I think I need to upskill here. I think I need to move in this direction. What are you saying about it? Should we or should we not? And God, God will give you clarity on how to go about it. That's how I run my life. So you should always involve God as well. So yes, create a routine for yourself. And creating a routine means taking a space, taking a time out for yourself to connect with your inner mind. Hear what find you. Yes. Because you can just keep moving and you are lost. You are just moving, but you are lost. You don't even know direction. And then you just go left, right. This one call you back. This one call you both. Just be moving anyhow. And that makes you, feel really disappointed in yourself. And, you beat yourself up to any decision you make at that time, because you're mostly not in your right state of mind if you just keep moving without a stop or a pause. And I think because I'm the person that will always connect to myself, always speak to myself. That was how I was able to reflect on the decision I made and, profile solutions on how to do better. Following from like the extract I read the other time. Do you get? So yes. Also, you should nurture your mind above your feelings. Yes, this sounds like it's impossible, but guys, it's actually possible. So nurture your mind above your feelings. Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings because most times emotions are too attached to your decisions. Yes, most times we make decisions based on our emotions, not considering the fact that emotions are actually fickle and they could just last for that time. But decision is like it's heavier. It lasts for a lifetime. Yes, for a lifetime or for that season. So you should make sure that at every point in life you are actually responding and not reacting. What do I mean? Responding means you are critically looking at it. You are not just like taking decision based on that moment. You are seeing it from a deeper angle to say that, if I do it, if I do this, or if I take this action, what will it cost me? If I don't do this, what will it cost me? That's your responding. But reacting means YOLO, we only live. Fine, we only live once. I'm a fan of you only live once. Please enjoy your life to the fullest. But please, you cannot go about life directionless. And there is nobody to be blamed because you are the owner of your life. You are the author of your script. So that's what I'm telling you. As much as you're trying to avoid making decisions like I used to, you will always meet it at some point. Like, yes, you will always meet it at some point because you have to grow. And if that's working for you, that you're not making decisions, fine. But let me just tell you, a disclaimer. I've been there. I might sound like I've lived like over 50 years, but still, I've been there. Okay, and this is me telling you that, see, you have to make sure that you're responding and not reacting, okay? With that, I hope I've been able to pass my message the right course. And I hope that you've gotten every idea you need to get from me today. Here is a toast to every of our poor decisions. Poor in double quotes, okay? So we've come to the end of today's episode, and I hope that you begin to take your time to review things and begin to take active steps in building your life as a young adult, because easy, like adulting, easy, but we go run them, right? Yeah. Thank you for listening. Thank you for staying tuned. Please, so we don't fight. As you have listened up to this point, please subscribe. You should follow, give a rating. Tell me what you feel about this episode. Please send your feedbacks, your review. Send it on Instagram at Life with Lumii. Yes. Subscribe and please share this episode. Share the podcast. Spread the love. Spread the good news. Like I said, it's a win-win for everybody. Okay? I'm rooting for you and I wish you all the best. Till next time, goodbye.